Alright, 750s this week. I need to make sure that I choose a bike fast enough, because I'm still going to be going on about this, but what I learned from my experience with that FZR not being very quick is that you need a decently fast bike, and that's not what I had. So I'm going to try Yamaha again, because apparently I never learned my lesson. We'll go, let's see how black we can go for this one. You know, I'll be Shadow Man. I don't know why my voice wobbled saying man. That was a bit weird. I'm going to be the Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog on this one. Revenge of the Yamaha. See if I can finally take a win. I used to think that all the bikes in each class in this game were fairly balanced, but playing this game so far has educated me on that subject that I was completely and entirely wrong about what I thought of all the bikes in this game being balanced. You know, there was that circuit race a while back, I think, where I tried to use the Triumph, where it just wasn't quick enough. Was that with the Triumph, or was that with a Honda? No, I think that was with a Triumph. Yeah, where it turned out that I had to use a different bike to actually be able to compete. 750 seemed pretty balanced. You know, I've ridden most of the bikes in this class and done well for winning. Although I haven't done especially well through the first proper corner on the course there, going very wide. This Yamaha is actually leading, unlike the FZR. I could have won the first stage on that 400, but I got cucked at the very end by the RC30, and he just kept on winning until I gave up. So 400s and 750s, actually. Let's talk about a bit of superbike racing history here, because I've been watching a lot of bike racing on YouTube since I lost my little earphones that I used to listen to music, that I used to listen to music in school and stuff. Since I was completely broke. I think I said lost, I meant broke. They completely just fell to bits. So I need to buy new ones of them, but it's been like at least a few weeks now since those broke, and I haven't made any effort to replace them at all yet, so I don't know if I will. But I've been watching a lot of bike racing on YouTube because, and a fair bit of car racing, but mostly bikes, because you can find tons of that stuff on there if you actually look for it. You know, it takes a tiny little bit of looking for it. It takes, like, you watch the 93 Donington Park GP 500, and then, you know, a whole world of 90s and 80s bike racing opens up to you. Just today, I watched the highlights of the 1986 Suzuka 8 Hours. But also what I've been watching recently has been the TT Superbikes Cup, or the 750 Super Cup or whatever, and I guess the support classes as well. The 750 Super Cup, as you might have guessed, was a Super Cup around Britain racing 750 bikes. That's where the Norton F1 raced, because I used to think that the Norton F1 raced GP 500 for some reason, but you know, I could never find a video of it, which I would have expected, because you know, the Norton F1 is a, well, it wasn't called the Norton that was a production model. The actual race bike was like once WC 588 or something, but you know, that's not the most important thing to be talking about right now. The important thing to be talking about is that the Norton wasn't in 500 races, it was in 750 races, and it did pretty well, battling against the Kawasaki 750s, which are my other favorite bikes eligible, you know, I mean, the Kawasaki 750 and the Norton F1, two of my dream bikes, really, so being able to watch them battle on a racetrack in the early 90s is just the bomb. You know, I'm into that. And the support classes for that were 400s and 250s. I'm pretty sure there might have been 125s bombing around. I don't know. Back in the day, you go to a race weekend and you get a whole day of racing, which was pretty cool. When, you know, that stuff was all recorded onto VHS tapes and like sparingly uploaded to YouTube, sometimes finding some specific stuff can be kind of difficult. You know, a little bit, but... And, you know, actually doing... Well, the Suzuki's gone flying. Jesus Christ. Actually doing, like, proper research into what was going on is a little bit difficult, because Wikipedia is not helpful at all for trying to look at the Superbikes. The old, F1... Oh, fuck, I've gone down as well. And I didn't even take out the Honda. Fuck. Can't control my front wheel either. God. Have a fight with the Suzuki a little bit. Way at the back of the field. I completely lost my train of thought because that happened. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the 750s are cool, 400s are cool, 1000s less cool, and bike racing from the 90s, 80s, 2000s, a little bit of the 70s, cool. Bike racing now, I mean, a little bit easier to keep up with if you can find the right live stream. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. You know, but you can find a lot of stuff that you want to see on YouTube, and maybe not listening to like future funk all the time, and actually looking at bike racing for a change has done me a little bit of good. Alright, I can't remember, this might have been from the 600s episode, but there was a bit where I mentioned that continuing on from referencing Bakugan/Initial D with the bikes are built for cornering statement. What I meant to continue on that sentence with was talking about the I hate saying manga, so I'm going to say manga instead. Sort of manga and anime I'm looking into. I'm trying to find more stuff about cars, you know, more stuff about bike racing, and more stuff about delinquents, because those seems to be the three anime things that I'm the most into that anime does. But I can't really download any series right now because my hard drive is completely full of movies and stuff. I might watch The Usual Suspects tonight for the second time. I've already seen it once, so... When I first saw it, and the twist, I'm going to spoil The Usual Suspects right now, so... I don't know how much you guys care about The Usual Suspects, but if you haven't already seen it, definitely go and watch it. You can get it for free if you know what you're doing, like I do. So, you know, when the first... Fuck you! What the hell? That's... Come the fuck on, man. Seriously? Bullshit. Get the fucking front wheel down. I wasn't even on the throttle for most of that. Great, now I'm gonna come fucking last. Oh well. It's a good thing I can win all of the other stages, isn't it? Can't believe that. Fuck's sake. Anyway, I'm going to spoil The Usual Suspects. I hope you didn't mute it a little while ago. But, you know, when it turns out that Kevin Spacey was the bad guy the whole time, you know, and not this Kaiser Soze, I was like, whoa! That's, wow. That's, woof. They did a good job on that one. Wow. Woo-wee. Zoo-wee mama. Good movie. It's a really good movie. Watching it a second time, you know, maybe I'll look for a bit more of the details rather than trying to figure out who Kaiser Soze is. I don't know, I just feel like watching it for some reason. It's a feeling I got this afternoon. I might finish off, but yeah, I really don't have the room to be downloading stuff like Riding Bean and You're Under Arrest and that kind of stuff, so gotta watch some movies, gotta watch some of the anime that I've got to clear off my hard drive. Definitely got to finish Bakugan, like I already said. I've also got His and Her Circumstances on there for some reason, which is like a romantic comedy, which, I mean, yeah, sure, I watched those, but I don't remember downloading His and Her Circumstances at all. I don't know when that might have happened. Although, I think I heard that it was pretty good at some point. I remember hearing that it's like the rom-com anime provided, which is, I fucking, school romance. I'm gonna say school romance instead, because I should not have said romantic comedy at all. Please ignore that I said that, because now I sound like a massive fag. Although, here I am, riding a giant vibrating dildo in leather, so, take that as you will. But I'm not gay, I promise. I meant to say school romance anime, which doesn't sound a lot better. I'm talking about anime. I can't really, get too much into semantics. Let's talk about Pop Team Epic instead, which is very funny. It's a shit show. Actually, it's not funny at all, but I like it. It's bad. Give it a watch. Only 3 episodes in the season so far, but I'm keeping up as well as I can. Speaking of keeping up, the AI are doing a shit job at that. Completely destroying them on a Yamaha instead of being destroyed on a Yamaha. Which is always a nice change. Speaking of getting destroyed on Yamahas, my granddad retired from racing the other week. If you don't know, my dad, I've talked about this plenty of times before, but my dad and my granddad, father and son, as it were, actually as it is, well, was, have a old Yamaha sidecar cross bike that they raced in, scrambles for classic bikes. But my granddad's old, and they had a pretty bad fall near the end of last year, and my granddad broke some like actual bones. So he's retired now from doing that. So my dad doesn't have someone else to ride his bike with him this season, because you're not allowed on them until you're 18. But in September this year, I'm turning 18, so I'll be able to be on the bike with my dad. So it'll become father and son team again. Whoa, it's like a generational thing. It's like handing the torch. It's like in a movie or something. Which is a much more, and I mean, this is a much more interesting plot than what Two Car had. You could have, alright, fine, maybe you could change it to being about high school girls instead of me and my dad and my granddad, but I don't know, you could have like the sexy mum character, and like the grandma, the grandma falls off the bike and she's like, ow, so the daughter has to replace her, and there's like a couple of other, teams with high school waifus in them. You could do that, racing old bikes, Japan. I'm right here, I'm full of ideas, you can come and talk to me anytime. I have loads of ideas for games as well. You should hear my idea for a Dakar rally game, because that's pretty stellar. I'm going to wait till I actually play the Dakar game to talk about that, though. And before I do that, I've got to get all the way through Rally Sport Challenge 2. And Rally Sport Challenge 2 is actually the game, the reason that I decided to start doing 15-minute episodes, because I saw that a bunch of episodes, I mean, I'll talk about this more in the first episode of Rally Sport Challenge 2 that gets uploaded after the 400cc race of this recording session. But, because there were a couple of episodes of that game that came out like 3 minutes long, I recorded 3 of them one day, and I just wasn't happy, and I can't remember if it was because of my commentary or because like everything was so short. I think it was a combination of both, because I couldn't get any good commentary in within the 3 minutes that I had to record. So, I mean, 3 minutes is usually how long it takes before I even get into an actual race in an episode. The first 3 minutes is me talking about playing the game without actually playing the game. So, I need that 3 minutes at the start as filler. You know, I'm like Naruto, the YouTube channel, basically. If you think about it. I had a point. Right, yeah. So I saw that, you know, I saw that I wasn't happy with those, and I was like, going on my second channel to play Gran Turismo Concept. And my second channel that I keep mentioning is linked on the main page of this channel. I recommend looking into it. There's going to be some stuff on there. I'll probably do the arcade races from this game on my second channel once I'm done with Gran Turismo Concept. And there's some other stuff I want to do on that channel as well, like playing, after I'm done with Need for Speed Underground 2 on this channel, I'm going to play it again on my second channel, but on the 360, which won't have any cutscenes, but it will, you know, be in HD, so I can be like the Slap Train and have multiple Let's Plays of Need for Speed Underground 2 uploaded. That's really the standard you want to aim for, is being the Slap Train. My hair's poking me in the eyes, but I'm too preoccupied with going fast to brush it out of my face, so I'm just going to deal with it until the next time I get a you win screen. Which shouldn't be too long, considering how fast the 750s are. These episodes are definitely going to get shorter as the bikes get faster. The 1000cc Arai Expert Gold Cup, which I'm going to do next week, should be the shortest episode of this bunch before I get into doing sidecars. I'm not too mad about having to do the sidecars, you know, but it will take a little while to do. And then the Manx GP, 20-minute. I'll see if because I want to record 6 episodes, and if I can get up to the sidecars, that will have been 5, which I'll be, you know, satisfied with. But if I can get in the first round, or the first race of the Manx GP as well, that'd be pretty cool. I'm not so concerned about doing the Manx GP in the proper order that it was done in real life, but I am going to do the TT races in the right order. So that's starting off with, I think, Sidecar A, and then finishing with the Senior, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I have them all written down in a notepad document somewhere that I can pop up when I need it. So I'm going to do the TT in the right order. There we go. I can sort my hair out now. Ugh, it's made my eyebrows super itchy. Right, one last stage to finish with the 750s, and then I can move up to the 1000s. To be honest, it's 4:30, and I mean, I have until 6, so I should be right to get in a round of the old Manx GP, although it depends on the engine capacity. Maybe I'll skip to doing a faster engine capacity to get it over with quicker, since the Manx GP, well, get it over with, get it done quicker. The Manx GP is only 1 lap, so, you know, if I pick a big bike, I can be over the finish line in a few minutes quicker than a small bike. That might be an idea if after the sidecars I'm running out of time a little bit. But I shouldn't be, so everything is going to be just fine. Problem is, you know, I'm going ahead planning what the next 3 episodes will be, the 1000s of sidecars, and some race from the Manx GP, but I've gone and run out of commentary. So I'm trying to go up the inside of this Honda. Let's commentate on the race. I haven't done that since I was riding the 400s, really. Let's go around the outside of the Honda. Whoa! Bounce off the bollards on the inside. I did not expect to survive that one. But I have, so I'm going to keep going. The Honda's come back. I'm going to come back on the Honda. I'm going to try and block him, take away the fast lines, which I've been able to do very well. Catch up with Suzuki, bump my way around his inside. I'm carrying a lot more momentum than those guys, but I haven't quite been able to ditch it before the corner. I mean, I ditched it in the corner, straight into the Dunlop barrier. But I wasn't able to ditch my momentum before I had to turn. I probably should have jumped on the brakes. But I'm pretty sure I'm leading the point standings by, you know, far enough. Probably not far enough to be able to come dead last, but looks like I won't have to worry about coming dead last because literally every single AI crashed in that corner. So my fall came at the right time. Now all that's left to do is keep the bike up on two wheels. I mean, the rest of the corners, well, one of the remaining corners on this track is going to be one of my identified danger zones for crashing. Governor's, the corner after, no, I think it is Governor's Dip, because the hairpin, the private road, I can't remember what it's called. I'll label it when we get there. I fall off at that a lot. Not the, because the hairpin is a right-hander. I'm talking about the left-hander that comes straight after it, because of the dip in the road, which I guess is why it's called Governor's Dip, I'd imagine. That always gets me. Well, not always, but it gets me a lot of the time. Especially when I've run an entire lap without crashing, and the game decides I'm overdue on falling off my bike. I managed to make a mistake. So, well, there's one mistake into the hedge. I'm still on the bike. Still on the bike. Still on the bike. This corner. I have a lot of trouble with this corner sometimes. But I've been able to keep it upright just fine. Pop out the other end. There we go. Take the win on the 750. See if I can do a wheelie over the line. Although I am just time wasting. Nope, couldn't even get the front wheel up. Well, I avenged the Yamaha FZR from earlier on, which I guess is something of an achievement. I haven't quite... Well, I've unlocked a new bike. I don't know what I haven't quite. I don't know where that sentence was going. Right. Next week, 1000cc Arai Expert Gold Cup.